look, when I became the Prime Minister, I signalled then that there was the opportunity for us to review policies. I always supported the position taken by the previous Prime Minister, because I think at the time, in 2008, almost 10 years ago now, there was a real need for certainty that an incoming national government would not be changing the settings. And as it turned out, with the global financial crisis, I think it was really important that older people had a sense of security, even when we had very large deficits, that national super wouldn't change. So when I became Prime Minister, I said that I wouldn't be making the same commitment as the previous Prime Minister had, and we've been doing work since then about what the policy position would be, including a discussion with the National Caucus early in February.
Do you think you've got the public opinion on your side on this issue?
Yes, I think so. I think it's people can see there's a significant issue of the ageing population, and this is a fair and reasonable response to that. We're not ignoring it, but we're bringing in a pathway that is fair and reasonable, gives people considerable time to adjust their circumstances if that's what's needed.
Are you willing to consider going further than 67? Because given the life expectancies you outlined at the start, another 2 years, shifting at 2 years is pretty piecemeal, isn't it?
Well, over the 20 years, it matches about the change in life expectancy over that time. So someone who turns 67 in 2040 will spend about the same time on national super as someone turning 65 today. So it's that sort of sense of fairness and reasonableness, I think, is something that the public will support.
You didn't think of going further?
No, we didn't look at older age thresholds.
Are you willing for this to be a point of negotiation in any post-election government formation talks?
Well, look, that's a matter for other parties. I mean, I think the position we've announced is a pretty fair and reasonable one. It deals with an issue that everyone knows is there and needs to be dealt with. We are doing so now because we think that a reasonable decision now avoids tougher decisions later, something pointed out by the Retirement Commissioner. So we'll see how the other parties consider their position. I think this is a position that will be supported by the public, and in fact it may be that they may find themselves explaining why they think no change should happen at all in the face of very widely accepted analysis that the cost is going to go up considerably.
Have you discussed it tonight?
No, we haven't.
Why are you putting the legislation in 2018? Did you think about doing it this year?
We just didn't think it was going to work that well this year.
Your coalition partner?
Well, I think people just need to be able to absorb the proposition we're putting out there, work out whether they think it's a sound policy, and I think given the significance of New Zealand superannuation for every New Zealander, the opportunity for it to be tested by an election is one that we're happy to see put to the test.
You said this morning that people obviously were aware of the debate, and we've been having the debate for 20 years, so surely that counts against your comment just there that people need time to get used to it.
Well, they haven't had a specific proposition. And as you've seen just in the last 48 hours, as soon as the issue's raised, you do get people, suggesting all sorts of awful things are going to happen. So today we've announced the specific proposition, and I think a debate about that through election year is something we welcome.